Hi guys, this is Red Dragon out here. I'm here to talk to you guys about the big, huge thing on Superpower Beatdown right now: Darth Vader versus Batman, or Batman versus Darth Vader, whichever you want to call it. I want to give my opinion on here since we on Hero Slam will be discussing a lot of heroes or villains, superpower legends, and debating on more. We will also have more on our show, but since we do deal with debates, I gotta chime in on this one. I feel this is a pretty even match, despite what I've heard most of you say that it's either Batman, Darth Vader. On this, I think it's a pretty even match because you have to realize on both sides here. Batman is one of the best martial artists and best strategists in the DC universe, if not the best. He's won fights with his will, his body, and his determination alone with his mind. All right, he's beaten villains like Mister Freeze, Bane. He's beaten Ra's al Ghul, who's lived for centuries. He's beaten telekinesis before. He's beaten the entire Justice League alone. And then you've also got to deal with the fact that Darth Vader, even though he's lost all of his limbs and they're robotic now, doesn't mean they're weaker. We don't know much about the metal from that part of the galaxy, so we don't really know much about that, if it's stronger, or if only a lightsaber can cut through it, or if it's weaker. So we have to assume that it's strong enough to deal with whatever Batman can throw at it. Now, I've heard someone suggest that an EMP from Batman could actually shut down most of Vader's systems, and yes, that's true to a certain point. Maybe he can survive that, or maybe like it won't work intentionally, but it will distract Vader long enough for Batman to actually get a few shots in. Now, I feel, having said that, the biggest threat to Batman is Vader's force powers and his lightsaber. That is the biggest threat. The force choke, but you really technically have to be seen or in contact to actually have that work. So then there's the force lightning, which most of you brought up in different canon and everything. Like, yes, I've played several of the games. I know Vader can do the Force Choke, Force Push, Force Lightning, all that, which he couldn't do in the movies. That's fine. I mean, it makes sense because I really wanted to see Vader be able to use the lightning in the movies. It would have been cool. So then we've got all this. I mean, think about it. Batman can hide in the shadows. He's trained his mind so he won't broadcast anything. I mean, it's hard enough for what's his name, Doctor Destiny, to get inside his head with something blocking it. Vader will have the same trouble because remember Luke kind of broadcasted like telepathically or something with his force, like about Leia being his sister, and Vader picked up on that. That's how he kind of found him afterward. That won't happen with Batman. Batman can easily hide in shadow. It's the lightsaber he's really got to worry about when it comes to that, because the light it'll give off might reveal him, may not, but it might. I say Batman stands a pretty good chance of winning this entire fight, but I'm not going to count Vader out. Vader's got tricks up his sleeves. He's killed Jedi and Sith. Okay, he's willing to go as far as he needs to achieve his goals, which makes Vader even more dangerous than ever. So if Batman hits a battery against, Vader's respirator, his iron lung, if you will, Vader could possibly die in a few seconds. So I know Superpower Beatdown will keep this going. They're not going off the facts, they're going with what the fans say. Because there's so many incarnations of these characters, you don't know which one. I'm going with what I know from the characters and what I like about them, and even their fallbacks. I mean, all Batman really has to do, even though Batman's not much of a talker, is bring up Anakin's past, Darth Vader. If he brings that up, he can throw Vader off. He'll be sloppy, he'll be unfocused, he'll be angry. And we've seen what happens when Vader gets angry. Remember when he found out Padme was dead? He crushed all those droids easily enough. But you get this to happen, and you have to imagine the fight that's going to go between them. I mean, holy crap. I even heard one person had put on that if, like, Batman gets a few hits in, Vader knocks him down, and before Vader makes the final kill, like, this tube opens up and out comes the entire Justice League who beats up on Darth Vader. Technically, all you would need is Superman for that. Though I'm not a big fan of Superman, I'll admit I'm not a big fan. I do want to see him die, but I will not go as far to say that I hate Superman. Some of the other ones on the show, maybe, but it's a different story. But the thing is, it's a superpower that's not going to bring any other character in that will not be necessary. So you got to deal with Batman and Darth Vader only. So you got to think about that. But all in all, I have to chime in here and say I think Batman can win this entire thing, but I think Vader stands a pretty good chance of at least wounding him. Vader, however, I feel he's got too many vulnerabilities. The respirator, the limbs. If they can be hit with a batarang, they could probably break. So an EMP could do quite a bit, especially if it's an exploding batarang. So I mean, Batman was able to defeat Deadpool in the show. So I mean, like definitely, there's not a situation he cannot think himself out of. So I had to put that in there. However, Batman did lose the Wolverine superpower beatdown, but that's only fan made. In any other circumstance, those two would probably never fight about anything. They would probably agree, except for the fact that Wolverine is willing to kill. That's probably the only thing. So anyway, that's my whole view of this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be sure to get the other guys together to get our first episode out for Hero Slam on Super Smash Up Productions. And let's rock it.